Today I want to share about Gordon, who recently completed his first Ironman in under 10 hours. Now here's the twist. Gordon had a significant break from his structured training. So how did you go from barely training to crossing the finish line in such a fast and impressive time for your first race? Well, today we're going to dive into that, and my hope is that you'll take away some principles, some training principles that you can apply to your own journey, whether you're preparing for your first Ironman or you're trying to level up your performance. I'm Joby, the founder of FC Endurance, and over the last 17 years, I've had the privilege of helping triathletes improve their performance through focused, purposeful, and customized training that the individual needs. Before we get into Gordon's recent success, I want to give you some context on his racing background. So he's not new to endurance sports and triathlon. He successfully raced many sprint and Olympic distance races, but he made the jump to the 70.3 distance in 2022. His debut was at Oceanside 70.3. He then raced Coeur d'Alene, Santa Cruz, and St. George. And his times were solid, ranging from like the 4:36 to 4:47 range. But here's the thing, after October of 2022, Gordon's training came to a halt. Life happened and he stepped away from the sport for a bit. And for almost 18 months, he trained less than an hour on average per week. So a big break from training. And it wasn't until May of 2024 that Gordon decided he was ready to get back to training and he wanted to tackle a full Ironman. He set his sights on Ironman California and started putting in the work. In his first month back in May, he averaged about 5 hours of training per week. By June, he ramped it up to about 8 hours of training per week. But despite his past success, it was clear that his fitness had taken a hit. And no surprise, but he needed some help. And he contacted us in early July. And we saw a few issues that needed to be addressed before he could race at his best, which was only a few months down the road. One of the most noticeable things was his elevated heart rate on the run. Gordon still had plenty of speed potential, but his heart rate was too high for the effort he was putting in. And this was a huge energy drain. And if we were going to make his efforts sustainable for the race, we needed to fix this. So we set some clear goals for Gordon's training: efficiency and aerobic conditioning. Target number one was we wanted to increase his pace at his aerobic heart rate range. We focused on runs that kept his heart rate in a lower, more sustainable zone. At first, we had to dial his pace back, but as he adapted, we started to see his speed increase within that range. And as his fitness improved, we gradually built in progressive paced runs where Gordon would start at a slower intensity and pick up the speed as his run continued. Then we turned our focus to the bike. Our second target with his training was we wanted to improve his threshold power. Gordon's bike fitness had dropped as well. We focused on rebuilding his threshold power, and we did this mostly through aerobic rides, some big gear intervals, and through threshold work. And we didn't make his training overly complex. We just made it count. Every month we saw improvements in his power numbers, and his endurance on the bike started to improve. With only 4 months to prepare, our primary focus was on improving Gordon's efficiency. We didn't have the luxury of time for a full-on speed and intensity focus, but efficiency for Gordon was a huge game changer. Now let's talk about something that if we look, it's really important, but it's often overlooked in triathlon training. Training has to fit into your life. Gordon had a busy schedule and he had work-life commitments, and we had to make sure his plan worked for him. And we didn't try to squeeze a ton of extra workouts that would burn him out or overload him. And we worked with what he had, knowing that every session needed to be intentional. So from July through 2 weeks before race day, Gordon averaged 11 hours of training per week. And with that steady, focused effort, he achieved something pretty incredible. On race day at Ironman California, Gordon posted a 9:58. That's a sub-10-hour Ironman for his first performance, with splits of 44 minutes for the swim, 5:07 on the bike, and 3:53 for the run. Gordon's story highlights 3 fundamental training principles that I believe every triathlete should embrace. Number 1, train at your current reality, not your future target. Your training has to match where you are right now and not where you want to be in 4, 5, or 6 months from now. Number 2, do the training your body needs. Everyone's physiology is different, and your training should reflect your strengths and your weaknesses. Gordon has speed, but we needed to make him more efficient first. Number 3, training should fit into your life. There's no such thing as the ideal training schedule. The ideal schedule is the one that you can stick to consistently. If you're inspired by Gordon's journey and you're wondering what customized, purposeful training can do for you, I'd love to chat. So let's set up a call and we can discuss your goals and how we can build a plan that fits your life and helps you reach your full potential. Check out the link below. You can click on the link to schedule a consultation. Thanks for watching, and remember, no matter where you are in your triathlon training, it's never too late to start working towards your best race.